Tom Rioch, promoting successful business experts, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Atlanta, Georgia, Lorrie Thomas Ross, the marketing therapist, speaker, CEO at Web Marketing Therapy. So, Lorrie, why do you say take a moment to breathe?
It is so essential to pause. In our go, 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 hectic lives, we are so reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
And when we give ourselves permission to pause, to breathe, that allows us to be proactive. That gets the oxygen to our brains and allows us to think and be creative. And that is so essential to success, no matter what type of business we're in, whether we're running a household or running a big business, small business. When we give ourselves that space and place to think, then we create solutions. And there's so much of a reactionary, like, how do I fix this problem? And of course, that's a given. I've run a business for almost 20 years. That is the nature of life. But that space and place to breathe is just, it fuels our souls, it fills our brains, and it makes us better professionals.
Well, filling the brain is essential. Not only feeling it, but you're nourishing the brain during any process, right? Because what I've seen, people don't breathe, they sort of gasp.
So much so. And, you know, my business is called Marketing Therapy. I'm known as the marketing therapist. I see so much of this kind of reactionary.
Right.
And I always like to say, quick and dirty is always quick, but you always end up dirty. And just stopping, hitting the pause button, inhale, exhale, that is the beginning. And then we're not making quick and dirty types of decisions. And that's another fact too, Tom, is that we're making decisions day in and day out. Everything from, should I put a little more cream in my coffee, to, you know, should I eat that, or should I buy this product or service? And just that breathing allows us to tune in to our inner thoughts. You know, there's that difference between what our brain tells us and what maybe our heart and our souls tell us. And while I love analytics and, you know, I know it's, you know, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. But there's also those moments where I cannot tell you how many times I've made in my career or even in personal life a decision that I've gone, gosh, I really shouldn't have done it.
Right.
And I can trace back every single time to my non-breathing brain was trying to rationalize it, where if I had just had a moment and really listened to what I really thought, I mean, every single time it's like, yep. So I can trace back every incorrect decision to not having that moment.
And that's the story of many of our lives, because we tend to be reactionary, and even in meetings, in a corporate world, in any world, people tend to think that value is added to the quicker the response, the better.
Where if you look at successful people, especially when I worked in the corporate world, you would sit at these conference room tables, and I'm a nerd. I'm a big geek, and I love communication, and I love people more than even the marketing work I do. I'm fascinated by people, and I would watch the dynamics at these tables, and you'd see the key leaders, the ones that were super respected. They weren't the no kind of chiming in. They were the ones that were often, the body language was more lean back.
Right.
9 out of 10 times they weren't taking notes. They were thinking, they were breathing. And then when they were ready and they had a healthy intake, then they would process and share their thought leadership. And so it's just really interesting, you know.
And then what happened when those leaders actually shared their point, everybody else just gasped.
Right. And listens in respect. Respect is reciprocal. When you respect yourself and give yourself that space and grace to maybe not make that immediate decision or whatever it is, then you make better decisions. You are able to process better. And that's okay, right? It goes back to permission to breathe, permission to say, I don't have the answer right now. I am not a perfect leader. I am not a perfect person. But when I am willing to be humble and say, I don't know the answer, I need some time. I may need to go for a walk around the block. I joke that I have a personal trainer who lives in my house. I'll call it a 5-pound Chihuahua. And this dog gets me up and out multiple times a day. And I cannot tell you what a gift that is, because it's like having a breathing coach, to have someone who's like, get away.
Animals have an instinct and an understanding for the moment that we don't. And that sense of, to get up and go, it's not them wanting to go. They want you to go. And we don't realize that. We don't realize that.
Yeah, just the movement. I mean, there's times where I stand up at my desk and I move, or I move my arms back, or I just, again, you're opening up your chest. You're just bringing in that oxygen. And that's essential to our core being. I mean, we are not human doings. We're human beings. And when we are in that space where we can be, we're just better in every sense.
Well, and I agree, because today's world is everything has become mobile and distant and virtual. And I'm saying that's good. It extends all of our reach. But when we were in the physical presence, obviously it was easier to understand the body language and the breathing. So actually being aware of what you're offering is more important today than it was a couple of years ago.
So true. And yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I've run a digital business since 2005. We've never had walls. We've never had offices. That was before, clients would say like, oh, I don't know, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, well, it means we can come to you and we can charge well, but, and charge in a way that's very economical to the client. This is my job, being a guard dog. So I love the connectivity, and I don't feel like, the inability to be together in person stops us. But to that, I look at it, life is like a pendulum, right? You swing from both sides. On the other side of it is that constant email inbox, texting, chats coming up, the social media, the WhatsApp, all that. And there's this like, and when you catch yourself in that kind of spazzy, flurried state, that's when you need to, that's your ding, 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 hit the pause button and prioritize, right? And what we give attention to is what gets nourished. And so going back to ourselves and our thoughts, our dreams, our goals, right? Brene Brown said so poignantly that creativity metastasizes. Like if we're not being creative, I mean, that just like jabbed me through the heart, because while I'm not an artist per se, I am always being creative on behalf of my clients.
And we're always on stage, whether that's a physical stage or a virtual stage.
That's so true. How we show up, how we show up personally and professionally.
And how we're perceived. And that comes back to, people look at you and want to know if you breathe or not. But what you do, I see on your LinkedIn, is sustainable marketing solutions. So you offer those to persons, to corporations, to groups. What is your focus?
Our focus is intentional leaders. We love to support leaders, enterprising entrepreneurs, and it's industry agnostic. It can be law, it can be medical, it can be coaching, it can be, artists, authors. There is this passion and purpose. And that's not something that Web Marketing Therapy's team cultivated overnight. Again, I shared I was a nerd. We pay attention to patterns and we look at what our magic is. And our magic is optimization. We make marketing better. That can be making it better and handing it back to a marketing team already in-house at a company, or it can be training someone, or it can be literally just like our logo implies, we put the puzzle pieces together so marketing clicks. We might fill in a hole and drive that to take things to the next level, or get in the website and make that, homepage way more effective. But it's all about solutions, and it's listening and understanding. And every organization is different, and wants and needs and goals are different. And so we don't have a services page on our website. We don't have a menu. Just like in therapy, right? Everyone comes to therapy with a different goal, and
every day's a new day. Right?
Every day's a new day, and
well, in business, every day's a new day.
Yeah, we've retired clients, and we've helped clients leave companies and start new businesses. It's really a gift to do what we do. And like I said, I love people more than I love marketing, and I'm just in awe and inspired every day by the leaders that we have the pleasure of serving and supporting. And it's just a matter of making things better. It's a unique approach. I mean, we
Right.
work sometimes arm in arm with other agencies, other social media teams, other web companies, but we're just, we're
You're
just here to
there.
help. That's what therapy is, right?
Well,
And again,
there's 8
yeah.
billion people out there. So how can our listeners, they're not 8 billion of them, but we know they're there. How can they find you?
You can look for web marketing therapy online, Lorrie Thomas as well. You can look at my sea of haircuts over the decades. We're actually quite easy to find. We're on all social media, LinkedIn, all of the above.
Very good. Well, thanks for sharing with us, and breathe.
Thank you.
And to the audience, take a breath now and find out. You can find more about Lorrie Thomas Ross. That's Lorrie, the middle name Thomas, the last name Ross. And you'll find her at lorriethomas.com as well as LinkedIn. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.